Okay, I want to now come to the next part of what we are putting out tonight, which is about why is it that the government was so rattled? Why is it that they were so scared? Because there is some context to it. It's not as if it happened in a vacuum. So if Gaurav, you can join me once again on that big screen, and let's now try and explain to our viewers why is it that people were scared and why the government believes that they had something happening which was out of line. So let's just go back once again and explain that to our viewers. Let's just take that graphic up on our screen right now, one at a time, because I want you to take a very quick, just bring this camera this side please. I want you to take a very quick and close look at this. One mechanized infantry battalion from Hisar and one para commando battalion from Agra was moving towards Delhi on the night of the 15th and 16th of January. Mechanized infantry battalion is an extremely potent fighting outfit with 45 infantry combat vehicles. Now think about this, the highway from Hisar to Delhi, 45 infantry combat vehicles with 6 anti-tank missiles with a range of 4 kilometers that can penetrate 18-inch steel walls. Gaurav.
Now the government's fear was, why was the Chief of the Army Staff ordering the mechanized forces to move towards Delhi? In case these are mechanized forces going out on an exercise, why weren't they moving towards the desert area, which is their area of operation?
Okay,
this is something that psyched the government.
Armored vehicles also had light machine guns and cannons loaded on them. A mobilization exercise is usually carried out to check war preparedness. But from what I've understood from officers in the Armored Corps, most of these mobilization exercises actually happen in cantonments during a period of 6 to 8 hours. Very rarely do you take them out on the national highway, and as you'll see soon, there was no need, according to several experts, for these infantry vehicles to be moved out of Hisar cantonment. If roadworthiness of the tank transporters had to be checked, this could have been done without arming them to the hilt. January is when there's dense fog. If there is fog, there are trucks on the road at night, and you're bringing out a full cavalcade of 45 infantry combat vehicles. Just try and visualize that in your head. This is very, very irregular. That's what the intelligence agencies were telling the government. And also, this point is very important. If the exercise was to be conducted, the army vehicles should have been moved possibly towards Kurukshetra rather than bringing them towards busy Delhi, because that's really a very dangerous thing to do. And this is another conspiracy theory which is being put out. The Hisar Mechanized Battalion was at that time under Lieutenant General Ashok Singh, who is married to General VK Singh's daughter. Is it just coincidence? Is it more, are people seeing more than they should in this? The MOD now needs to clarify on whether there's been any other instance of loaded infantry vehicles moving towards Delhi at night in the last 5 years. In the records, there isn't a single such instance that's been noted. The Ministry of Defence says movement of the army battalion was routine, but there is not a single other recorded movement of this sort in the last several years. While the coup theory may be far-fetched, was the army chief trying to intimidate the government on the day he moved to court? I want to go across to Colonel Bedi in Pune. Colonel Bedi, why is it that you believe that what happened that night was very irregular? Do you believe this intimidation theory, sir?
Sir, according to me, during my entire service in an armored regiment, in 3 armored brigades, 31 armored division and 1 armored division, we never moved the tanks and armored personnel carrier ICVs like this on the highways. We only moved them in 71 bar. I was in Jalandhar, and it was a sight for the villagers to see how the tanks were moving from Jalandhar to Amritsar. But during the normal exercises, it was only short moves we did. And I belong to Hisar. I have done my schooling there. I know the day this armored division was raised. Not a single time the armored personnel carrier or tank transporter with tanks have moved on that highway on which I have moved on Krishna bus service from Hisar to Delhi.
You're saying that this is highly irregular?